Winning cures everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in, Winning Cures Everything. It is Friday, October the 9th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And much to discuss today, good gracious. Bears and Bucs were last night. We got some crazy stuff going on in the world of college basketball. And we're going to talk about the NFL schedule. We're going to talk Major League Baseball, all kinds of different stuff for a wonderful Friday to get your weekend started. We know you just got out of work. We understand, and we appreciate you guys for jumping in here and letting us start your weekend. McKenna jumps in already on the chat. He said, happy Friday, gents. Happy Friday to you as well. If any of you would like to join in the chat, you can do so. You can watch us on Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, and you can jump in the chat on any of those different platforms. It will populate right there on your screen in the bottom left-hand corner. That is what is known as the chat box. You can help drive the conversation of the show. You can tell us your thoughts on everything that is happening. You can tell us how ridiculous we were for betting the Bucs last night, if you would like to. I mean, all kinds of different stuff. So jump in there, jump in the chat, help us out. And if you ever miss a live show, jump in the podcast. Make sure you are subscribed to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever. Especially on Apple Podcasts, make sure that you leave a nice 5-star review. We are going to start this week with podcast exclusives. We will do shows recapping the college football week over there. Podcast only. We will be doing a college football look ahead on Thursdays. So we'll figure out how exactly we're going to do that, but that will be happening along with some more content that will be over at the website, winningcureseverything.com, all of our picks, previews, etc. Lawrence jumps in, choo-choo lane train. He said, Bama is going down. I'm so glad Lawrence decided to join in.
Attaboy.
We got the hurricane coming in. You got Hurricane Lane all down there in Oxford, ready to rock and roll. Calling Nick Saban elderly this week. Just jumping all over. All these stories this week. I think Bama's going to beat him by 40. But maybe it's just me.
That's just a little gas, Gary.
That might be what it is.
That'll pass.
It might have been a little bit of this Olmeca Altos tequila that I'm drinking right here, which... hashtag not an ad, but you should probably support us because I drink this crap every day on the show, it feels like. But either way, if any of these liquor companies would like to sponsor us,
well, why would they pay us? You just tell their name for free.
Well, here's the thing. I will stop. I will absolutely stop doing that. You can email me, though, Gary@winningcureseverything.com. We'll set this thing up. I'm telling you, it's good stuff.
Giving nothing away for free.
Man, you got to give them a taste. You just give them a little taste.
Nope.
Let's see. Lawrence said, matter of fact, Durham also has all the documentation to take down Saban along with Hillary. Hey, that's Saban's part of the deep state.
That's what I heard
understand.
too, Lawrence. I heard that too.
That's from what I understand. Yeah,
Some
you're probably
sources,
right.
He is involved in the situation.
It's got something to do with Mercedes-Benz and Dodge Chargers and all sorts of other stuff. I understand. I know all about it. I know how it's going. I'm part of that. I know. All right, let's go ahead and dive into today's show. Chris, you watched that debacle last night on the NFL.
So frustrating.
What was it? Was it the NFL Network or was it Fox?
Yeah, it's on the NFL Network, and you can now stream it on Amazon.
There you go. So I don't remember.
So I would tell you this: in the future, we can do some live streaming on the Thursday night shows.
How can we do? What are you talking about?
Well, people were wanting the other day for us to like watch the show live and kind of talk about it, go through it. I cannot do that unless it's on a streaming version. So Monday night and Thursday night I can stream.
Well, there you go. Okay. Well, we could probably.
I don't know that Sunday night I can stream. Maybe I bet NBC's new Peacock app would let you, and I think that is free.
That's a good point. We can figure this out.
Not buying any more apps though. I'm done. I got too damn many. I'm not buying any more.
No. I'm out on that. I'm out on the number of apps that you have to buy in order to watch things. It's absurd. I'm with you. I am with you. All right. So So it looked pretty good early, right? Bucs are looking all right. You and I both had them -3.5. I had them on a parlay with the over in the Houston-Tulane game. Now, luckily, I had the over and Houston to.
Not going to be able to create a pocket for him. There's going to be a problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's real, and that's something that needs to be addressed. And I don't really know how you can address it. You can't make him any younger than 43, but he's just not going to take those hits in October. I understand that because he's playing for January. Okay, that's what he's playing for.
And
he's playing for
that
February.
makes sense. But the other side of this is, you know, if it's happening now, who's to say that it won't be happening in January? And this is just a sign of an undisciplined team, right?
Yep. Well, and I think that's why Bruce's teams have never made it crazy far in the playoffs. I mean,
he's fun.
I think they're a lot of fun in the regular season. They have been for you when he was with Arizona. All these teams are a lot of fun. They're very talented and they are good football teams, and they're tough to beat. Okay. But a lot of times they get beaten by lesser opponents, and I'm not calling the Bears necessarily lesser opponents all the time. That defense is real good when they are healthy and they are on. But they beat themselves a lot. And if you go back and look at all of Bruce's teams throughout history, there's a reason none of them have made it to the big dance on Sunday, all right, in February.
You're right.
There's a reason that they are always knocked out early. And you know, they just find ways in crucial situations to beat themselves. And that is nothing new for Bruce Arians. I mean, he kind of lives that way, you know. I mean, Jameis has a problem throwing the ball to the other team and always has. Every quarterback Bruce has ever had, though, he teaches an offense, a style of offense that is let her rip, tater chip. We're not afraid of you turning the ball over because we believe that we'll make more big plays than we'll make more big mistakes. And so that interception, you know, if you throw 5 touchdowns, which you did last week, and 2 interceptions, which you did last week, he's okay with that trade-off. He's okay.
Yeah.
And that's the gambler mentality. I feel a kinship to that. I understand it. I am that guy. But it's not something Tom has ever done in his life. I think that's taking some getting used to because the rest of this team is used to playing that way. They're used to being undisciplined as long as they think it gives them that little edge for the next play.
Well, it cracks me. The gambler mentality is one thing, but my God, I mean, 4 field goals in this game by Ryan Suckup, only 1 touchdown. I was completely wrong on this. Like, I don't feel like it was the weapons that necessarily cost or the lack thereof. McKinnon jumps in. One of the few times I've ever seen Tom go off on his teammates, especially the linemen. Can't say I blame
100%.
him.
They deserved it.
Yeah, they deserved it for sure.
They deserved it. They played like shit.
Kicking a 25-yard field goal, all this just minor stuff that eventually comes back to bite you. And the gambler part of it ended up costing them at the end of the game because you left as much time on the clock as the Bears needed to be able to come back down the field and score.
I can't believe that last drive they took 15 seconds off the clock. That's it. That's criminal.
And
that's
did not make
and
them,
that's play calling.
And
so
hold on, did not make them use their timeouts.
No, they used 1 of the 3. That's insane. So I will tell you, and maybe I'm giving him a pass because I like him. Okay, I do think Bruce has given a lot of offensive freedom and control to Byron, and I really like Byron Leftwich, and I think he's going to be an up-and-comer in this game. But he's got to get more discipline on that offense.
Oh, yeah.
Byron is the one that needs to be going in there, slapping helmets and knocking people out and cussing them out. That if he's going to run the offense, then he needs not Bruce and not Tom. It needs to be Byron, because I'm going to tell you, I believe in 4 or 5 years, if they keep winning and doing well and nobody gets fired, Bruce is not sticking around that long. Tom is not sticking around that long. Byron will be the one left standing. He's the one that has to take control of this offense. It's his offense. I do believe that Bruce has given it to him. He needs to get some control and discipline with these guys.
Yes, 100%. I mean, you're dead on with this. It irritated me to no end Big Dick Nick is now 2-0 against Tom Brady.
God damn.
I mean, it's just and they even swapped teams. Like, there is nothing about this Bears roster that should be better than what the Bucs have.
But they weren't. This is a defensive football game. There's a reason this game was 20-19.
McKinnon said between penalties and blown protection, it was a complete shit show, and it was.
Yeah, it was a complete shit show. And I'm gonna tell you this: this is the first game that we had Khalil Mack healthy all season, and holy shit! Let's not forget that this guy used to be in the conversation as Defensive Player of the Year every game. Okay, let's not forget that this man is a monster. All right,
he most certainly is.
He is a I know that I sing the praises of Myles Garrett all day long. When he hip thrusted and just chunked Worth or whatever, their first round offensive lineman. Oh, holy cow!
Yeah,
I was just like, Jesus, I don't know what I'm looking at here. That's a grown ass man throwing a child.
Damian jumps in, and all he says is, "What's up?" And that's all he has to say. Hey, Damian,
that's all you need to say, Damian.
We brought you up last night.
Victor goes to spoils.
Yes.
That's it.
We brought you up last night. We were talking about how you were going to
Gary
absolutely...
sent me a text last night, and he was just like,
Damian's going to murder us.
He's going to murder us. And I was just like, hey, he gets the right to. His team won.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, more power to you, brother.
Hey, the Bears defense looked fantastic last night. Nick Foles looked absolutely calm and collected. Down the stretch of that game.
He did have some really bad throws still.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There are some freeze frames that we went back on that I went back on and watched and searched through like Twitter football to find a lot of these. There were some guys. So here's my problem with Todd Bowles. I'm really putting a lot on the coordinators for the Bucs today. He played a soft coverage all game, and Big Dick Nick just cut them up underneath. Short 6, 7, 8-yard routes all day long, matriculating the ball down the field to where they could get an easy field goal range, no problem. And every time he threw it deep, he missed his guy by, I'm talking some of these 8 or 9 yards, not even close. And I'm thinking, why press the damn receiver and make him throw deep? If Allen Robinson burns you, there's a 30% chance Nick is going to miss him by the length of a car. Okay. So I don't care if Allen Robinson burns your ass.
Yeah.
You can't let him get 8 yards a catch.
Oh, man. That's, yeah. You're right. McKinnon jumps in.
I'm hard on Bowles and I'm hard on Byron. I like both those guys a lot. I think they're both going to one of those two men are going to take over this organization in 3 to 5 years. They got to be better than they were last night.
Oh, absolutely. McKinnon said, I even told Chris last night, Brady impressed the hell out of me, even though he got the physical shit beaten out of him. Cruz Madrid jumps in. What's up, Gary and Chris? My Giants are tanking for Trevor. Your Giants ain't the only ones, it appears. So
I'm going to tell you that they ain't taking Trevor. They are so in on Daniel.
Hey, you think so?
Yeah.
You're probably right.
It'll have to be an entire new organization.
Yeah. Now, I think you're right. Damian jumps in, by the way. All I'm going to say is somebody needs to test Brady for Alzheimer's. Hey, we didn't even bring that up. How do you not know it's fourth down? It's not like he spiked the ball.
He just didn't remember spiking the football. I mean, you're in the middle of a heated situation. I'm not killing the guy for that. Now, I'm the last person in the world that's going to ever do that, though. But he's in a heated situation. He remembers running 3 plays. He remembers running 3 plays because he just doesn't rember spiking the football.
Well, and it wasn't only him.
No, it wasn't. The entire offense forgot it also, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm certain whoever's in the ear of him, Byron, forgot it as well.
Yeah. Shep jumps in, by the way. Only just found your channel. Amazing content and analysis. Hey, man, we appreciate that.
Thanks.
Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. Tell your friends about it. All that good stuff. So, Damian Estrada, cheers to you, my brother.
Hey, your Bears are 4-1.
4-1. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Your Bears are 4-1. Listen, Green Bay's coming. Get ready for Green Bay. If you take down Green Bay, nobody will be happier than me, brother. I promise you.
Oh, McKinnon says, so the word going around is either Bruce or Byron were saying third down in his ear.
Yeah, somebody was in his ear saying these things, and this is why things get confused. A lot of stuff is being said on those headsets, by the way. I will tell you that I would not handle that many people talking to me at once.
Yeah, I think I agree.
I would not. When I'm trying to do a job as important as run a 2-minute offense for a football team, when there's other people on the other side of the field like Khalil Mack with the ability to separate my orbital bone
to kill you.
I don't really want 3 other people yelling in my headset.
Yes.
Like if I was a quarterback, I would want to have a button that I could turn that thing off.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Cruz said, don't get me wrong, Chris, I like Danny Dimes, but Trevor or Penei Sewell are the picks. Sewell, 100% should be the pick. 100%. He's the best player in this draft. Do not get it twisted. Like, I'm telling you, and Chris, you know this, we talked about him last year. Penei Sewell, the Oregon tackle.
Yeah.
Unfreaking
What does that have to do with Danny Dimes?
Because he was talking about the Giants tanking for Trevor. They ain't tanking for Trevor. Like, they're going to get Penei Sewell. They got to fix that offensive line. That line is shit.
Well, they're not the only ones looking for tanking folks, okay?
Yeah. The good part about this is you don't have to tank all the way in order to get Penei Sewell. Because
I think at least the 2 quarterbacks are going and possibly 3.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. You are right. Shep said, just subbed. I wish Brady was Mike just to hear that outburst. Yeah, you got that right. And Joseph Gomez is trying to get on you a little bit today. You see it?
Yeah.
Joseph said, Pats go 3-5 or 2-6, and the tanking begins. No, sir. There is not a tanking bone in Bill Belichick's body. It ain't happening. Like, they will fight until the bitter end. He would retire before he tries not to win a football game. That's just the truth. That's the truth. McKinnon said, y'all see that clip of Brady rolling his eyes after he saw he got sacked by Mack again? Funny stuff right there. Yeah, I would be too.
No, you just know 52's coming, and there's not one of these 5 men that can stop him that are standing in front of you. These large behemoth of giants, and not a damn one of them can do anything about it.
Do you think there has ever been an offensive line that Brady has played behind that he did not trust before this year?
No, I don't. Even some of the ones in New England weren't great, but they were coached up so well. They were schemed so well. They could take out any one great defensive player. They usually couldn't take out 2 or 3, but they could take somebody. They would have found a way to scheme Mack out of this.
Oh, certainly. And this offensive coaching staff did not do any of that.
No,
they played right into it.
I had high hopes for Leftwich. There's a world in which he's just going to be an OC and maybe okay OC for a while.
You might be right.
I love the guy, and I want him to be better, but so far, he's got to be the one to take control of that offense.
Cruz said, my 2 favorite teams are trash. My Giants are trash, and my Oklahoma Sooners are as well. Look, here's the good thing about Oklahoma. You are allowed a down year here and there. You got a freshman, well, not a freshman, but you got a young quarterback, first-time starter. Things are going to be fine at Oklahoma. That's no problem. The Giants, however, that's an issue. Damian said, what's y'all's thoughts on Brady not congratulating Foles after the game?
I'm not a big fan of the fact that, he walked off the field. I know he was just pissed off at his team.
Yeah, he was mad.
I don't think this is anything against Foles.
I guarantee you he called him or texted him or something.
Yeah, I bet he did. I would be shocked if he didn't talk to him at some point in time.
Shep said, hey, it could be worse. Look at the NFC East. What a dumpster fire. As an Eagles fan, times are rough right now, although we're the best of the West. Look at that. We got Giants fans and Eagles fans in here and Bears fans. Hey, I like it. Cheers to it. All right, let's jump off NFL for just a second. We are going to get back into it here momentarily, but the biggest news story of the day, now that we are 20 minutes into this bad boy, has to do, Joseph said he walked off at the Super Bowl as well.
Well, I knew about the Super Bowl one. That one, yeah.
And McKinnon said, tell that Cruz fella I feel him. Auburn and Atlanta are killing me. Auburn is going to get right this weekend. Do not worry about that. Gregg Marshall. Gregg Marshall is the coach. What the
hell is happening?
He is the coach at Wichita State. He is the men's basketball coach at Wichita State. And this guy has been to a Final Four with Wichita State. He has, he had an undefeated regular season. They got a terrible matchup in the NCAA tournament, but he is now being accused of choking an assistant coach, of punching a player in the face at practice, and being just overall verbally abusive, using racial slurs, using, all kind of different stuff. Now, to say that you couldn't have seen this coming means you just weren't paying attention, right? Everybody knows that Gregg Marshall is a hothead, and he is a yeller, and he does it during games, and he is known for being incredibly aggressive. However, to this extent, I don't know that anybody would have known this.
Listen, you just described Coach Cal. You described a lot of college basketball
other
coaches.
than the choking and the punching, right?
But yeah, that's the racial slurs. I don't know what those were, but it's just really hard to think that you could coach men's basketball for as long as he has and use racial slurs.
Well, I don't think it was the worst.
He's
of the
not
worst.
using the M-word, right?
Correct. He's not doing that, but he was talking about.
You think maybe he called them thugs or something like that?
Something along those lines. There was also he was talking to a white player, asking if he was scared of brothers, if he was scared of guys that were raised by their grandparents and all that, all that kind of stuff, and talking about a Native American guy. Telling him to get back on his horse and started making like Indian noises, whatever. It's pretty ridiculous stuff.
He's overall an asshole. Choking somebody, putting your hands on a kid. We just live in a world where you can't do that anymore.
And we are talking about stuff that happened 5 years and 3 years ago. How in the world is this stuff kept quiet for that long? I
was just about to say, how did nobody say anything after you choke somebody or you put your hands on a kid?
You got me. I have no idea. I mean, it's insane. Damien said, hope y'all learned y'all's lesson going against the Bears. Hey, we might bet against them again. Just depends on the week. It happens.
I like Chicago. I like the Bears.
We've always liked the Bears. It's nothing against them. Cruz said those Shockers teams were fun to watch when they went undefeated in top 10 every year. Yeah,
they were.
They absolutely
they really were.
And they're still fun to watch now. The issue is the reason all of this even popped up. This offseason, after the season, they had 7 players transfer from the program. And it's been an ongoing thing. Every season, they tend to have a lot of guys that start to transfer out. You start to hear, mumblings here and there of maybe something ain't quite right there because, they hadn't made the NCAA tournament since 2018. They've been pretty good, but they also joined the AAC. They've got, some things going on there, and people were trying to figure out what in the hell is happening. And Jeff Goodman started asking around. When you start asking questions, then you start getting answers, and then Wichita State wants to know what you have found out. Now Wichita State is doing their own internal investigation, and they're hiring outside people to do an outside investigation of inside the all that kind of mess. Gregg Marshall came out today with a statement and said that he never did these things. However, they've got 26 different player accounts of things that have happened inside that program and a ton of witnesses that don't want to put their name on it, but they all say that these things actually happened. And I don't know how you end up surviving. No, I take that back. I know how you survived this. The Koch brothers, they are billionaires. They have the influence to be, or they have the power to be able to influence elections.
Yes, so they do.
They can absolutely. Here's the deal that happened at Wichita State just not that long ago. Ivanka Trump wanted to go speak at the school. The president of the school fought tooth and nail to make sure that did not happen.
Yep.
And then the president was fired because the Koch brothers wanted to make sure that was allowed to happen at their school. So he could absolutely keep his job.
Yes.
However, it is more than likely that he is gone. Now, what I'm most concerned about, or not concerned, what I'm surprised about is the fact that it was quiet for this long, Chris. How in the world does that happen?
The Koch brothers have deep pockets. And if you choke somebody, it's real. How much if let's say your boss choked you.
Yeah.
And then somebody showed up with a bag of cash and say, you don't ever say a word. Now, that person who's handing you that bag of cash also has enough money to, if you break that vow, they're just going to have you killed.
Yeah. And I don't think that's happening here. But, who knows? Who knows? Birdie jumps in, by the way, said, good day, Gary and Chris. I hope you're winning your day. Hopefully we are. If Louisville covers tonight, we should be fine.
I was about to say, are we both on Louisville?
Yeah. You got that right.
We're both on the Bucs. Now we're both on Louisville.
There you go. Woo. There you go. Let's see. So our YouTube comments are not popping up now, but I'm seeing them on YouTube. Let's see. Cruz said, hey, Chris and Gary, I'm going to go. Sorry, guys. Been feeling sick for a few weeks now. Just want to talk to you guys for a bit. Have a great rest of your day.
Self-taken care of.
Yep. Take care of yourself. Do your thing. You can jump in anytime. Make sure you download the podcast. There you go. Let's see. Birdie said, take care, Cruz. And Damien said, their last name is Coke. That should give you a hint. Well, it's Koch. It's not
Yeah, it's the other Coke.
So
it's a way bigger Coke than
the
way
way bigger.
Coke.
Way bigger. So, but yeah, I'm surprised at all of these happenings. But at the same time, I'm not, because I know that he's a hothead. I know that his wife has gotten kicked out of arenas for yelling at referees. This is, I mean, it's
fun
a sad,
family.
Yeah,
fun family. Just great to have her over at a dinner party. I bet
it's sad because he is a fantastic coach. But
he is a really good coach. Now, let me ask you this: now that some of this stuff has come to light, do you think? So, let's say they don't fire him.
I think you have to.
We
because
all know that recruiting is going to determine everything.
I knew that's the word. I knew that was the direction you were going. How can you effectively do your job if you cannot recruit?
Yeah,
and I don't think you can.
So therein lies the problem. It's the Koch brothers might want to save you today, but in 2 years, when you can't recruit a single 4-star to come to your school anymore, and you're playing in the American and you're finishing 5th or 6th every year, I don't know that we're willing to spend any more money to save you.
Shep jumps in on YouTube. He said, I remember when Marshall went after those referees a few years back and was kicked out. He said, he said, I think that video is online. Yeah. No, he's always been a hothead. Like, But hang on now. There's a difference between hothead and feeling like legitimately untouchable. This is.
Do you think that? Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you again.
No, you're good.
Do you think that has anything to do with the fact? I mean, this dude had some big time offers coming his way, and he never left there. And do you think guys like the Koch brothers have a lot to do with that? Saying, "Hey, why would I ever leave this? I'm connected with two of the most powerful people in the world at this small school in Kansas. I can just stay here forever, and I can kind of do anything I want."
That's a lot to do with it.
I take an Alabama job or something like that, I lose all of that.
Well, so he was up for the Alabama job. He was he was rumored for the Alabama job. He was rumored for the Texas job. He was rumored for the UCLA job. A couple of different things, right? Now, the Koch brothers, he is currently the 15th highest paid coach in the country. Last year, or before last season, he was the 10th highest. So he's still got the same salary, which is $3.5 million, which is absurd for a school the size of Wichita State.
That's right.
But this is Bobby Knight kind of stuff. Like, he was the guy at Wichita State. There's also allegations of him chasing down somebody that had, like, one of the students that had parked in his parking spot, and he jumped out of his car yelling, "Do you know who the F I am?" and tried to punch the kid.
But this is what I'm saying.
This
is not just a hothead guy. This is a guy who truly believes he's untouchable.
Oh, yes.
I know people who are hotheads, but they still have a healthy, normal rationalization and fear for, I live in a world in which you don't just randomly run and chase folks down. You get your ass kicked doing that, or you'll get fired doing that, or negative things can come your way. He truly believes he's untouchable.
So from everything, those jobs that I just brought up, the Texas job, he was rumored for it because he was a big name coach at a smaller school, et cetera. But they never wanted anything to do with him because they did their due diligence and whatnot. Alabama, they flew him out. They did all this, and I was convinced that they were about to hire him because they were offering, almost $5 million, like crazy money. And he ended up saying that he took his name out of the hat. Mm-hmm. But what I heard was that Alabama backed off of him, which is kind of crazy.
I'm sure he took his name out of the hat.
And maybe so. But I had heard that, and then I heard the same thing about UCLA, where, you get knee deep in the process, and UCLA just paid Mick Cronin $5.5 million. Like, They talked about him for the UCLA job 2 different times. It's, you start to hear these things in the background, and if your school does not want to be involved with that, then you just kind of take a step back and then go from there. But, I could not figure out for the life of me why he had not moved on, because he was at, oh God, where was he before? Like Wagner or
something
like that. But he went to Wichita State and was highly successful, and then just never moved on from there. And yet they weren't upping his salary every year. Every time he was offered one of these jobs over the last 3 years, they weren't upping his salary. It was really weird.
Well, I'm not worried about the I've told you before, anybody who would turn down power for money is a fool.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. And I think that's what happened here.
He is a guy. If you're chasing down students and you're punching choking assistants and putting your hands on kids, you have ultimate power at that school.
Yeah.
And $1.5 or $2 million more ain't enough to walk away from all that power.
Oh, you're right.
Because 2 bad seasons at Texas and your ass is gone.
Yep, you are correct. Birdie said, be careful saying a guy who coaches with violence is a good coach. It's not a good look. Criminals are criminals. Let's not glorify them. Now, look,
true.
I'm with you. However, his record speaks for itself. I mean, are we not going to say that? Are we not going to say that Bobby Knight was a good coach? I mean, he absolutely was a good coach.
Now, Bobby Knight didn't coach with violence. Come on now.
I mean, hey, he choked Steve Alford. I mean,
I don't know that he choked him. He popped, but that was a totally different time, man.
I understand it was a different time.
I played football at Olive Branch High School, okay? What was done to me at that time to get my ass in shape is considered violence today, all right? That's when Bobby Knight was doing those things. That wasn't violence then, all right?
Yeah, no.
Many a coach put many a hand on me.
Yeah.
Okay? And it was to get my ass in shape.
I'm not saying any of that. You get where I'm coming from.
But that was the 90s, and this is 2020.
Yeah.
And he did this 2 and 3 years ago. All right?
He did. So he punched the player in 2015, and he choked the assistant coach in 2017.
Yeah. Just different world today than then. So
you cannot get away with that.
Bobby Knight slapping players the way he did, dude, I would have paid for a slap over some of the hits I got.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Had a guy just hit me up on Twitter that just asked, what is our line on Louisville, Georgia Tech? The most recent one that I'm seeing is 5 right now. And I got it at 4.5 last night, but it's sitting at 5 right now. I think most people think Louisville should be able to get this thing done, so long as they don't turn the football over and Mikael Cunningham looks all right. But we'll see. Right. We will see. All right, let's talk about the NFL schedule change. We won't spend long on this, and then we'll close out with some Major League Baseball. The NFL schedule changes are interesting. Now, I am always a fan. Let's see. I'm out. This is all you know of. I can't do it. These are kids. This can't happen. We can't justify this. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I'm not justifying it at all.
We're not justifying it.
No, we're saying it's wrong.
We called him a good coach talking about his record and what he's been able to do on the court. We just now are finding out about these things.
Yeah.
So,
and we're saying that it's inexcusable and you cannot.
We couldn't judge him yesterday for these things because we didn't know they happened.
You are correct. The NFL schedule stuff, they are moving 3 different games. The Pats-Broncos game has been moved to Monday at 4 p.m. Central Time. Now, ESPN was not happy that they were competing with Kansas City and the Patriots last week. So
they moved their game back.
The NFL just gave ESPN both games.
Well, no, I'm talking about the last game. They moved their game back.
Oh, yeah. No, they certainly did.
It did not start until the first game was over.
Birdie jumped back in the chat. He said, great coach. Look, what I'm saying is he's got a great record. How's that? Hopefully that explains it better. He's got a great record. I'm not saying that he's a great coach.
I think that's
or
all
a
we
great
said,
man.
too.
Yeah. Like, I'm saying that he has been effective in that position for a little bit. But, yes, it has gone downhill in the last few years as far as record and everything else. Before this, I thought he was a really good coach. I don't know that now. I'm not excusing anything that he's doing. So hopefully we have made that as abundantly clear as possible so that we don't have any more arguments. We're saying that he is a jerk and an asshole, and what he did was inexcusable, and he should be fired for it.
Yeah.
However, his record is what it is. So, what do you want me to say?
All right, move on. We're good. We're good.
All right. So, the Pats-Broncos game is on Monday, and it is going to be on ESPN. It is not a CBS game this time. It will be on ESPN, and the Saints game that evening against the Chargers will start at 7:15 p.m. Central Time. And so you got two games back-to-back, and the Broncos-Pats game will be called by Kirk Herbstreit and Chris Fowler.
Love that.
I am all for this.
I love that this is the second game we're getting with those guys.
Yes. I am a big fan of that. Now,
yep,
we have a Tuesday night game. That will be on CBS, and it will begin at 7 p.m. Central Time. That is the Bills at the Titans. The Titans are finally going to play football again. Now, here's the catch to it. The Thursday night game between the Bills and the Chiefs has been moved from Thursday to Sunday, and if the Titans have another positive between now and Tuesday, they may move the Titans game back to Thursday. So Bills-Titans on Thursday Night Football, and then Chiefs and Bills would be moved to another date.
Yep.
This is complicated. This is a bit of a disaster. If they would tack on a week at the end of the season, I think that kind of fixes a lot of these problems. Because if the stuff that they are doing, whereas you got one or two positives, you're having to shut down facilities, you're having to do all this kind of stuff. If you are having to postpone games days for one or two positive tests, then why not just tack it on at the end of the season? Now, you can do some finagling here and there, but like Titans and Bills on a Tuesday is just weird. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of Tuesday Night Football. Absolutely, let's go. But why in the world would you not? And Damian jumps in. The NFL should just cancel the season. This is dumb. Come on, man. Why would you not just tack it on?
Your Bears would have never got to 4-1.
You got that right. Bertie said, "I calmed down. Sorry, this stuff just hits home." Yeah,
that's okay.
It's all good. So maybe I did not do a good job of explaining. But Chris, what are your thoughts on just extending the season a weekend? Am I crazy for this?
Sorry.
You're good. Was that Maui?
Yeah, my dog just came in and just growled at me. He is pissed right now that I am not playing with him.
He's mad at you.
I feel a little conflicted about this. I think we have treated two different teams that had a COVID issue two completely different ways, and all I want in this world is consistency.
Yes.
The Patriots had somebody test positive, happened to be the quarterback of the football team, flew down, played the best team in the world, had to play him without our quarterback. Played him to a pretty good game, in my opinion.
Yeah, right? It was not bad.
Why the hell didn't we just tell the Titans, these 9 players are out, sit your ass down, everybody else plays?
That's you have got it set up where the practice team guys can jump in immediately. What is the problem?
Oh, you don't want those practice team offensive linemen blocking for Derrick Henry and your newly minted quarterback that you just paid a lot of money to? I'm sorry. Tough shit.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Play the game.
Birdie.
Play the game with who you have that's healthy. And if anybody else gets sick, then they don't get to play either. All right?
Yeah.
Or reschedule the Patriots-Chiefs game as well. No, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that. No.
Well, no, I mean, here we are with the Pats and the Broncos, and they're, they've got a couple of positives or whatever.
We're going to play without Gilmore. We're going to now play without the reigning defensive player of the year.
And now you're pushing it from Sunday to, which, again.
I got guys like Damian and these other cats that come on here and talk all this shit about how the Patriots get everything and the league defends them and they protect them. No, they don't. They hate their ass. They hate them.
Yeah. They do.
They're never going to defend them. They're never going to protect them. They're always going to leave them out to hang. What are they doing to the Titans right now? Just blowing them. Giving them everything they want, every opportunity.
Oh, you want to play on Tuesday? Okay, we'll play on Tuesday. That's fine.
Oh, bounce you to Thursday. Well, we'll just keep inconveniencing everybody to accommodate you. Now, I like Tennessee, so I'm not just trying to shit on them, but this is more of a shitting on Roger Goodell right now, okay?
Yeah.
The lack of consistency for how he handles everything is the reason he always finds himself in the criticism that he gets himself in. It's his own damn fault for not having a policy in place and following the policy. That's all.
Like
we
with
just
the
want
Pats,
some consistency.
With the Pats, it's very now. Again, what I was talking about is exactly the situation that the Pats are in. Is they have one positive, and they're moving the game to Monday, which that ends up affecting the Broncos. That ends up affecting the team that the Broncos play next. That ends up affecting the Pats for their next game. That ends up like this whole thing with the Titans affects the Bills and the Chiefs. Like
moving a game from Sunday to Monday is nothing. It affects nothing, Gary. It just affects nothing because Monday is an off day for all these teams anyway. And so now they just won't have their off day and they'll just go back into work. Like this, it does nothing. They like playing on Monday Night Football. Moving the game from Sunday to Monday is nothing.
Joseph said the Titans had more contact tracing than the Patriots. Both players and executives tested positive, so it would take over a week to go through all the testing. Yes, I understand that. They're testing every day and they're doing rapid testing. And I understand the incubation period is several days. I get that, right? And that's why the Titans keep having, guys test positive. My issue here is tack on a week at the end of the season. For the love of God. Like,
there are ways to solve this that are better than how the NFL is doing it, but I don't expect anything less than what I'm getting from the NFL. Roger Goodell is really good at one thing, cocking stuff up, okay?
Yeah.
He's just going to dick it all up. He's going to be handed this $100 billion organization. He's going to make $100 million, and he's going to F it up. That's what he's good at.
Yeah, I agree.
Bad press, making bad decisions over and over and over and over again. But he's also really good at taking network executives into a closet, putting a bag over their head, putting a gun to their face and telling them, you're going to sign this contract for a metric shit ton of money.
Yes.
And all his owners are happy. And so they don't care.
Damian said they hate the Patriots so much that they got a slap on the wrist for stealing other teams' playbooks, videos, and deflating balls for them to win a Super Bowl. Wow, that's a lot of hate.
Right.
Look, the difference is everybody does all of those things.
I'm not
everybody.
I'm not going to rehash all this.
That's why none of the owners were upset about
all of those things that you said, yes. They went to the Steelers and they went to the Ravens because that's who they found that they had tapes on, not the Rams, by the way, Steelers and the Ravens. And both of those owners said, stop this investigation, burn all those tapes. We're doing the same shit.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
Everybody does it.
But that's okay. That's okay. You can be upset because they beat your team's ass consistently. I understand that's a problem.
Which is why everybody's mad about the Houston Astros. Don't get me wrong. I don't like the Astros either. And we're going to get to Major League Baseball here momentarily. McKinnon said, I think it falls more in the line of the Titans are missing so many dudes versus just a few from the Pats. Don't get me wrong. It's wonky at best, but I can understand if it's so many dudes. That's why you got practice team guys.
Yeah.
You got guys that break protocol and, end up getting this thing. Sucks to suck, sucker. I mean, my God, look, the Marlins went through that and they made it to the damn playoffs.
That's right.
So
won a playoff series.
Yes. So I mean, my God, like you're just gonna have to deal with it this season. It just sucks.
Part of it.
So and I understand all the contact tracing. I get all that. I understand it. My entire point to all of this was, this is just the beginning. Like they are going to have to extend this season, and I understand. McKinnon said, I get that, hence the reason it's wonky at best. Yes. They're going to have to extend the season. Like, there's no way that we're getting the Super Bowl on that first Sunday of February.
But here's the thing. They've already said they have the opportunity to extend the season another month.
Yeah.
They can kick the Super Bowl back all the way to the first week of March. They already have all the hotels, everything booked up, everything lined up and planned for any of the weeks that the Super Bowl might fall into. So why not use that padding?
Joseph said, I think they will, Gary, but they won't unless they really have to due to the TV and advertising deals. It's all about the cash. You extend the season, and you will make more money.
You make it more money because now you're playing football on an 18th week and a 19th week instead of 17 weeks.
I think they should do that anyway. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, toss in at least 2 buys for everybody, and get more game weeks in.
Just to kick this thing back down further. Yeah.
I don't think it should just be
why do we
this
need
year.
9 games on Sunday mornings?
There is no reason.
No. Give me 2 buys, give me 6 games on Sunday mornings, and make the season 2 more weeks long.
Birdie said, agree, Gary, extend the season. Why not?
Yep.
Who cares if it ends at the end of February instead of week 1? Who cares? Keep it fair for everyone. But see, and I'm not even worried about keeping it fair for everybody. Like, I'm just extend it. Like, my God, it's not hard.
It's just the easiest solution. It's just the easiest, most reasonable, rational solution.
Yes. Birdie said, Titans are not missing anyone of consequence, though. They are all practice squad guys. They have enough to play and be competitive. Yeah, they're missing Corey Davis. That's kind of a big deal. I mean, he's their leading receiver right now. So, Shep said,
only because Brown's been hurt.
Shep said, got to go now. Have a great day, everyone. Chris and Gary, thanks for the coverage. Hey, no problem, Shep. We appreciate you coming in here, man. And Birdie said, totally agree, Gary. Yeah, it's just my thought process. All right, let's close this thing out. We're already 47 minutes into it on a Friday. Let's talk about Major League Baseball. The Braves can't lose. What is going on with it? This is how crazy 2020 is. They had not won a playoff series since 2001, and now they haven't lost a game in the playoffs.
Swept 2 series.
Man, McKinnon said NFL equals no effing logic. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Birdie said, who has more fun than us? Hey, who knows? I don't know if anybody does. That's why we have this show. It's just a bunch of dudes getting around talking sports. All right, so Major League Baseball, I am having more fun watching baseball this year than I have since I was a kid. I mean, this has been absolutely enthralling television. The Braves are good. The Dodgers are good. The Astros, everybody hates them. I understand that, but they've been really damn good. And now we've got, a Game 5 with the Rays and the Yankees to see who closes it out and goes to the championship series. Does it get better than this?
No, I'm really liking this. I think baseball has been very, very smart. They have lined up their playoff series to happen Monday through Friday every week. Last weekend, they didn't play a single game over the weekend. This weekend, they're not playing a single game over the weekend. They are not competing with football. They are very smart to do this. And by doing that, man, I think they're getting a lot more eyeballs. It's been a lot more fun. The home runs are helping. The scoring is up big. Every one of these games are, somebody on some team is scoring double digits.
Except for anybody that goes against the Braves right now.
Well, the Braves have hit 2 teams where they I think they've only given up I think two innings they've given up a run in the last, I don't know.
Last 5 games.
Insane. It's an insane amount of innings. But yeah, it's just, they look really good, but everybody's looking good that's winning right now.
Oh, yeah, the Dodgers are out there. McKinnon said, I'm out, boys. Have a good evening. No doubt I'll talk to y'all tomorrow at some point. Yeah, absolutely. No, we'll be around. We'll be around. Hit us up on Twitter, everybody that wants to. So we'll be doing this thing. No worries. Birdie said, don't we want a Houston Dodgers final?
I would love that, by the way.
Man,
I would not be upset with that. As long as I don't see the Dodgers win it, I'm happy.
Darren jumps in. Y'all both are a riot. Better than all the others. Y'all keep it real and don't hold back. Also, y'all don't fake anything. You damn right about that.
I'm a really bad liar.
We don't know how to do that.
I'm just really bad at it.
Terry jumps in. He said, what's up? What is up, Terry? Hey, Terry, we're talking about your favorite subject right now, the Atlanta Braves.
No, we're talking about baseball, Terry.
No, we're talking about baseball. Baseball. Let's see. Birdie said NBA ratings are hitting WNBA levels. All other sports are doing it right. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get into the politics of the situation here. It's just it's a rough time if you're the NBA. I just think the NBA
is competing against baseball and football, and right now baseball is throttling them.
And even when you are, because normally the NBA finals are done well before the Major League Baseball playoffs.
Way before now. Yeah, that's right.
And it's not that they're necessarily competing with baseball or football, because there are some nights where it's just them. It's just that there is so much more stuff in your head that you've got to pay attention to right now.
The problem is the nights that it's just them, we have given so much of our time and energy to sports. You just can't do it every night of the week.
Yeah. I mean, it's impossible. It's impossible. I have not watched a single NBA game since the Grizzlies got eliminated. And
so
I'm keeping up with them.
I watched a lot. But once the Celtics got beat by the Heat, I was out. I mean, that was my team, and that was who I was in with, and they left, and that was it.
If the Celtics had made it to the finals, I probably would have watched.
I would have watched every game. I'd at least record. I'd like when they're playing against football. I would at least recorded all the games and then gone back and watched them.
Yeah. Terry said that Dodgers-San Diego game Wednesday night was awesome, not so much last night. Look, baseball to me has been incredibly
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm a fan of what's going on right now. I cannot wait to watch this Yankees
all
game.
of the teams that were likable, that I wanted to win, are out. So now I'm all in on the heel. Give me an Astros World Series. That's all I want in my life.
That's so insane. That's so insane.
I just think it's amazing. It's going to be incredible.
Darren McCardle said Tampa Bay will win 2 sports. Hey, not if they
could.
look like they did Thursday night. Good gracious. And the Rays could absolutely win a championship.
Oh, just win tonight. Win tonight, and I'm not going to pull for you against the Astros, but I won't pull against you. I'll be a neutral observer.
I would love to see.
I'm all in on the Braves. That's the truth. That's the honest truth. Good Mid-South Southern boy. I'll root for this Braves team as much as it bothers me that they somehow manipulate the hell out of their young players to take fractions of the money that everybody else is taking to stay with the organization long term. I don't know how they do that, but it really bothers me.
Terry said, hell no, we want an Atlanta Rays series. All right, look. I want Atlanta to win. One, because I grew up a Braves fan, because that was the only team that was on regularly.
That's who we got.
And the other side of this is on SBR back in, February or March? They were asking my thoughts on the season, who I thought was going to win the World Series this year, and I told them that I put money on it. It was a long shot then. It wasn't a super long shot, but I got them at like plus 350. I got the Braves to win the World Series. No, I only got like $10 on it, but hey, that's what I said on the show, and I'm not a baseball guy. So I want to be right.
That's a good thing. That's a good feeling. No, listen, we say a lot of crazy shit months and months and months back. Listen, I picked the Mets. If the Mets were in this thing, I'd be ecstatic. I picked the Mets and the Astros. I got half of this thing right, and I had the Astros winning it all.
Oh, yeah.
Baby. It didn't look good early. Thank God that they let 16 teams in the playoffs.
I bet the Toronto Raptors to win the NBA championship last year at plus 250. And then I hedged and I bet the Warriors. Now, this was before the playoffs started. And I ended up, it got to a point where it didn't matter who won. I was making money. And I felt really good about it.
You know how I feel about that. Our boy John LaCombs has the best saying in the world. Hedges are for landscapers.
Oh, yeah. No, it's true. It's true.
We don't hedge. We don't hedge.
Terry said, what I don't want is a damn Dodgers-Yankees series. That would suck. I'll tell you this. It would not suck for ratings.
I won't watch one pitch of it. Hey, I will tell you that. I'm a baseball purist. I won't watch a pitch.
For you not watching a single pitch, there are millions of people that will. I mean, it will be
they can
massive.
all kiss my ass.
I think that's a good way to close the show today. I think that's a good way to close it. All right, guys. We will be doing a podcast either Saturday night, Sunday morning, basically recapping the college football schedule, the week that was, and all that good stuff. And it will be a podcast only. So make sure that you go over to Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. Make sure that you are subscribed and that you check it out there. It will not be on YouTube. It will not be on any of those spots. We'll share the link out, but that's where you're going to get it. And it's going to be basically, it's going to go along with what my article will be. So you can go over to winningcureseverything.com. You can find it over there as well. And then we'll also have a podcast on Thursday that's going to kind of preview the college football week that's coming up. We'll always be previewing the NFL stuff right there on the YouTube channel. We'll be doing the live show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then we'll figure it out. I think Chris is going to have to handle the Wednesday show by himself at least, but I will send in my NFL picks for him. I know he'll be able to get through it. Life will be good, but I'm currently planning on being out of town next Wednesday, so we'll see what happens from there. But with that said, go over to sbrpicks.com/NCAAF. Make sure that you are subscribed to the Sportsbook Review YouTube page. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern, we will be having our closing line show. We'll be discussing all the games that are coming up for the college football Saturday. It's going to be a good time. Good time, of course. If you've not already subscribed everywhere you need to for Winning Cures Everything, make sure that you do that. Head over to the website, subscribe to the podcast, all that good stuff. Chris, is there anything breaking that we need to hit?
I can't say anything.
That sounds good to me. We appreciate all you guys jumping in here. Thank you so much for helping drive the conversation, of course, like you do every single time we jump on here. We cannot thank you enough. With all that said, take care of yourself, take care of each other. We will see you tomorrow morning. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review.